So I'm going to take your bottles here, hand them to Charlotte, so you can put that black wax in the very top. So the wax is about 200 degrees. This little contraption here is kind of a seal it and cool it. It'll cool that wax down very quick. But it also embosses the Knob Creek logo within that wax. You can see it's kind of printed with the wax there. So just kind of use some of that premium look and slick. So we'll hold these here. You'll pick them up after the tour. The engraving and everything's done later on as well. So it's not anything about it.
Great. Cool.
Your own little souvenir box here. Appreciate it, Sean. Any other questions, though?
Back down the street.
Alrighty, sounds good.
She said that would be a long time for the dogs to be in their kennel. Would you want Brandon to get a ride back home from one of you? That would be around 9 hours in the kennel.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Wait, what?
Is it okay to be here for 9 hours?
No, it's not.
So these are all the famous bean decanters. These kind of developed more as a marketing idea back in the mid-1950s. Just kind of make bourbon a little bit more popular and increase the sales of bourbon. So all of these were filled with alcohol at one point in time. Even the cars, the trains, famous people, animals, you name it, we probably got it. But started making them in the mid-50s. The name of the company that produced them for us was Regal China. They were headquartered out of Antioch, Illinois, which is I think on the Wisconsin-Illinois border up there. They made about 700 different ones for us, but we have a pretty small collection here. We only have maybe 150 on site. So we have a few here in this room. The rest of them are in our employee cafeteria, which is also on site as well. But they went out of business in the early 90s, 1991 or 92. So we have not produced these decanters in about 20, 25 years. Until the grand opening of our American Still House, which is our visitor center back at the top of the hill. We've launched 3 new ones since August of 2012. The 3 new ones are up here in the glass case. So you guys probably saw them in your shop around up there at the Still House as well. So we have a replica of the American Still House. The bottom right corner is Fred's Smokehouse. That's our barbecue cafe. It also sits up there. And then, of course, the Jim Doom tour bus. Not the one we rode down on, but the other one's parked up there somewhere. So just kind of cool, nice little collection series and bringing it back to life again, but something to always hang on to. So very neat. But any other questions, though, just throughout the tour or anything at all? All right, so we'll load back on the bus. We'll head to the top hill. We'll visit a warehouse, talk more about the barrels and the aging process, then we'll finish off the tasting. So that's the best part, class. So,
Probably from the barrels they made it.
Must be a reason. You didn't put sun to hit it?
Should ask.
There's a little video that kind of shows how they are made. Got it. Well, yeah, warehouse, rig house, or rack house is where barrels are stored. Either one of those. Correct. Char. And the color. You guys follow me through? We're gonna start this up here.
Why are they all painted black? Is it just for the look, or?
Just to drive in more heat in the summertime.
Okay.
Slide on it here.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
Heady.
Mm.
Angels are getting a lot. How long have these been sitting here? Some of them look downright ancient.
Yeah, we'll be all
All of this?
our products range between 1 year.
One spot.
Yeah. So the building we're in is Warehouse D. This one's the older warehouse on the property, built in the late 1930s. This warehouse is 9 stories tall with right at about 17,000 barrels all sitting on the inside. But we do not temperature control any of our warehouses. It's all just Mother Nature. So obviously in the wintertime, much colder, cooler temperatures. In the summertime, it does get pretty toasty in here. But the temperatures definitely affects the way that bourbon ages while it's in the barrel. So the hotter it is, it's going to age a lot faster and increase that proof. The colder it is, it's going to age a little bit slower, could decrease the proof. So your barrels age differently throughout all the different areas you have in the warehouse. So the next question I get is, do we rotate our barrels to conserve the consistency? Every distillery is different on how they achieve this, but we do not rotate our barrels. They all sit in the exact same location for the entire time frame that they're in here. The way we do get our consistency is we use a cross-sectioning. Kind of looks like a big X that runs through the middle of the warehouse. So, for example, our Jim Beam White Label, just our flagship bourbon, it's aged for 4 years. After those 4 years, we just pull barrels from the very bottom, the middle, and the very tip top, kind of at that angle. Exact same product, but just different locations. All we're going to do is just mingle them together to balance out the taste profile. So, in other words, we're just taking some high proof stuff that's aged pretty quick, medium proof stuff, much cooler temperature, lower proof that's aged a little bit slower. Just kind of mixing and matching, being right in as far as taste profile. So on a hot, humid summer day, especially as heat rises to the top of the warehouse, it can be over 125, 130 degrees up there. So a huge temperature difference. Also behind here, the 149 years, this talks more about evaporation and how many bottles you get from each barrel. So I'm going to pop open these doors here, kind of give you a better idea. So after 1 year, you've already lost about 10% of the bourbon. After 4 years, you've lost a little over 20 to 22%. And then after 9 years, you can see a huge difference. You've almost lost 40%. So the longer bourbon sits on the inside of that barrel means the less amount you get in the long run, which also means the higher the price the bourbon will be per bottle, just because there's less of it. So definitely notice that color difference and variation as well. Lighter, darker if you're extremely dark. Once again, kind of all of your good stuff, your good characteristics happening on the inside there. So it is pretty amazing how much you do lose each and every year to the evaporation, but it's pretty incredible. Any questions though, as far as barrels or anything? No, this kind of gives you a better picture.
Does that affect the proof then, the less you have?
It depends on where it's aged. If it's aged at the very top, your proof will increase, whereas if it's aged at the bottom, your proof could decrease. More alcohol will evaporate at the lower floors, and more water will evaporate at the higher floors.
Do you do the same process of picking from each, even for the older ones?
Yep, we do it for all of them. The only thing is there's only 3 products that are aged in specific areas. Bookers and Bakers are aged at the very top of the warehouse, and then anything single barrel is usually in the middle of the warehouse, but we don't mingle with other barrels because hence the name single barrel.
Is there anything that you aged longer than 9 years in the barrel?
Jim Beam's Signature Craft is 12 years. That's our longest aged product. It just came out about 1.5 years ago. The fall of 2013 is when it came out. If you guys follow me through here, once you make your way through, kind of take a step over to your right and look straight up. It's a long way up there.
A lot of barrels.
A little over 7.
But then decreasing the thing.
Every barrel weighs right at 500 pounds when it's filled up.
So the longer it ages, though, like the 12 years, is that just higher alcohol content too then, or is it?
It
not?
just depends on whatever you water and control the proof at. It'll be a little bit higher probably in the barrel if it's aged at the very top, but it's watered down to 86 proof.
Okay.
That's the proofing on that one. So yeah, it just depends on what you want to control it at.
Yeah. Just a different flavor.
Yeah, more of the kind of the wood and oakiness because it's had so many years inside that barrel. But any other questions though, just throughout the tour or barrels?
You guys do the
anything?
branding or the barrel? Where's the branding here? Or?
That's it's gonna be done at our cooperage. But that's the barrel number 13 million. So you saw those barrel heads we saw earlier on. So every about 3.5 years, we hit 1 million more barrels. So that was the one that was filled April 23rd last year, so almost a year ago. So they just kind of put it especially there so the visitors can check it out.
How many million? I missed that.
13. So we fill 13 million barrels since 1935. A couple trucks. We'll head back up. We'll finish off the tasting.
Thanks. Put my face in there.
I've seen you drive go-karts.
Well, at least we use a tour bus over here. Big buses. Got our tickets. You don't need yours, don't you?
Huh?
Thank you.
So just head on in, just hit the bar to the right. The good news is we have 21 different products to choose from to taste. Bad news is you only taste 2 of them. If you came with someone, you're more welcome to share, put your drinks together and try 3, 4, or 5 different products, or make friends fast. That's you. So the menu's got a nice little guide that walks you the different products we have if you're not familiar with any of our products. So just kind of talks about each one, the proofing, the aroma, the taste, the finish. There's also more products listed on the very back of that menu as well, so you can decide on those. On the very front of the menu, you have Bourbon Tasting 101. There's just a few proper steps to kind of get the full effect to properly drink your bourbon. So it's 4 simple steps there to kind of walk you through it. But, there's no really incorrect way to drink bourbon. We do have water, ice, and a dump bucket on that far back bar. So if you find a product that you do not like, I know they look like drains on these units here, but don't throw them in there. Just throw them in that silver champagne bucket, get some water, and start fresh again. But we have water and ice, so if you want to throw a little bit of ice, a little bit of water, some people like it neat. Like I said, no incorrect way on drinking bourbon. We do not have Coke or ginger ale or Pepsi or anything like that, just a water and ice in here, so make it the way you like it. So since we have so many products to choose from up here, instead of me just sitting up here recording with 1 or 2 different ones, we give you the options. We're kind of self-automated. We have these big automatic units, these cubes on the inside here. You can visit all 3 of the units. There's 1 here, 2 on the inside of the curtain. Check them all out. The 21 products are kind of dispersed in all here. So kind of explore all your options and bounce back and forth through them and figure out which products you need to go with. So with that being said, I'll kind of show you how the tasting works. If you guys direct your attention to that middle unit, I'll walk you through it. So here in a second, I'm going to hand you 2 different things, a card and a glass. On this card, you see a gold chip, kind of like a computer chip. Each card is programmed with the 2 credits on there. Once you've made your decision, gold chip must be down to the ground, inserted first. You're going to slide that card in, but leave it in. Most people want to swipe it, you got to leave the card in. It'll say, welcome, you have 2 credits. Once you've made your decision, you're going to hold that glass underneath the black nozzle, whichever product you want to go with here. So I'll go with Baker's, one of my favorites. Underneath the nozzle, you see a touch screen up here. You see 3 different buttons to press, one of these 3 here. It does not matter which one you press. You just have to hold one down. They all pour the exact same amount out. So press and hold. It will pour the drink right out for you. If you press longer or harder, it does not pour more bourbon out for you. I've tried every day. It still doesn't work. So that's your full amount there. After that, you're going to pour your card back out. You still have 1 credit remaining. When your card reads expired, we do need the cards back. Either find myself or we have a little basket here for the X out. Just toss them right there. The glasses I'm going to hand you, we do not want back. They are yours to keep. They're your souvenir for coming to visit today. So that's a souvenir for you guys. Like I said, the 3 units, 1 here, 2 on the other side. Check them all out. One recommendation when tasting bourbon, always go low proof to high proof. Kind of start at low and work your way up to much higher proof. If you decide to taste anything with the flavoring, we have like the honey, the maple. They're on the far unit over there. Save those for last, no matter what. They're so sweet, they could ruin the taste of the next product you go with theirs. So low proof to high proof, and sweet stuff last. One last thing, if you direct your attention back to the bar. This particular bar right here has got kind of a funky looking label to it. This is an experimental batch. We have our R&D department on site. It's actually building through the trees all at the very top of the hill there. They do all the innovation for Jim Beam. So we have an experimental test batch if you want to actually taste it. The only thing they will tell us about it, it's 90 proof and it is not a bourbon. It is a rye whiskey. So instead of 51% corn, it has 51% rye. So it's got more of that spicier bitterness to it rather than the sweetness that bourbon gives off. If you want to try this product, it's on that middle unit. There are iPads on the back bar, just a short questionnaire to actually ask what you like, what you dislike about it, why you hated it, or why you loved it. So all we're kind of doing is kind of capitalizing on the R&D department we have on site. We allow our visitors to be kind of a part of our taste panel. The good or bad news about this thing is if you do like it, you can't buy it anywhere. So it truly is an experimental batch. We just got in here last Monday, about a week and a day ago. So we're just allowing the visitors kind of get a tasting of the different products we're working on out there. So it will take one of your credits. I know it's going to be a hard decision to take down from 20 to 21, only 2 of them. So it won't take one of your credits there. But you can just see how dark and colored it is for being 90 proof. They've also done something different with the inside of the barrel. So I don't know if it's a char or a smaller barrel or what the deal is, but that's pretty dark and colored for 90 proof. So just kind of giving the option. Once again, I know it's kind of hard to choose between all of those. One last thing, your tour tickets. If you could tear off that bottom portion, that little voucher there. I just need the top one, the bottom one's yours. And I'll give you guys cards and glasses here. So this is the conclusion of the tour. Once again, my name is Grant. If you guys have any other questions, I'll kind of be floating around through here. But thank you all very much for coming out and visiting Jim Beam today. Appreciate it.